What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with a new episode of Reasonable Doubt, Season 3, Episode 7, The Lost One. Y'all, before I start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Y'all, make sure you like the video so I can stay in the algorithm, okay? All right, so we realize that Jax is a control freak. She has to have control. She has to have this level of control. Anyway, the episode started with Jax. She's frustrated, looking for answers about her mom's cancer. We found out that Mama Lou has stage 2 colon cancer. We don't know the extent of it, but Jax just think it's treatable. It'll help. So Eddie tells Jax, hey, just focus on your case. And Jax was like, I don't give a damn about that case. She said, as a matter of fact, all of that went out the window the moment I found out that my mom had cancer. She was like, I can't remember at this point. I don't remember what happened early on today. All right. So Louis let Jax know, I just found out, because now she's like, how long have you known? He was like, I just found out an hour ago. And he said, I just found out an hour ago, but I told Eddie, I demanded that Eddie tell you. And I get it. I just feel like the reason why he made Eddie tell Jax is kind of like a one-up thing. And this may not make sense, but I feel like Louis just want to constantly one-up Eddie. And in the husband department, when it comes to taking care of Jax and being the guy that Jax need in her life. Like, Louis gets on my nerves sometimes with his fine self. Anyway, so she's sitting outside her mom's house in her car, and we flash back to 1986. And whoever was this little girl that was playing young Jax was beautiful. And she had some little chops on her. Okay, she did an amazing job. So I've never seen her before, but she was the perfect person to be a younger version of Jax. So Jax have a flashback of her mom and dad. They're dancing in the middle of the floor, being in love, yada, yada, yada. And so she goes over to his guitar and she touched it. She was plucking the strings. And he just flipped out on her. And I was like, oh my God, he has to be on that stuff. So Jax cries and she runs into her room. And Mama Lou was talking to him about, no. Before he did that, he yells at Jax and tells her, don't touch my shit. She ran off crying. And Mama Lou tells Eddie, you need to ease up on her. And he tells her she needs to learn how to behave or she will be spoiled and untitled. And I'm looking like, well, what did she do? Because all she did was pluck your strings. So now she needs to learn how to behave because she see your strings and and she just plucked them. Instead of you teaching her how to use the guitar, you yell at her. You scare her. You make her fear you. Like this is how fear is equipped in kids and how they fear their parents. This is how everything starts. But we also understand that you was high as a kite. Okay, what they call it, higher than a Cooter Brown. Okay, you was high. So anyway, Mama Lou tells Eddie, she don't want Jax to be scared of him. And he said, I'm a puppy. Nobody's scared of me. And he kissed Lou. And she ain't say nothing after that. It's the manipulation that he uses to get over on people. And all he had to do with Lou, and again, I've been on Lou this entire season. Lou has been a pick-me, and it showed even in this season, but it also showed that Lou can protect Jax. So I was here for that. And in turn, Jax actually protects Lou. Okay? So we seen that he had dope and he was hiding it in the damn guitar, which is why he got mad at Jax. Like, I don't know. And we see Jax stand standing like from the doorway watching him, watch how he put the dope on the mirror. He's not even paying attention. He hadn't even looked around. You could at least went in the bathroom and did that, but you did it out in the open. So your kid is now seeing you put the dope on the car, on the guitar, whatever, and you're chopping it up with the card, and he goes ski sloping, and she walks up to him, and he apologizes to her, and Jax asks, as kids will ask, a 6-year-old is gonna ask, what are you doing? And he tells Jax, oh, I'm just taking my good medicine. Eddie was an ain't shit daddy. He was an ain't shit daddy. He just probably felt like because I'm coming around, because I'm here with my daughter, that makes me a dad. No, you are an ain't shit dad because even though you had this problem, your kid shouldn't have never known about it. You should have done this in the bathroom. Anyway, Jax gets out of her car. She see Mama Lou come out of the house, and she was like, so you wasn't gonna tell me? Like, we know you're upset, Jax, we know, but this lady is sick, and you coming to this lady with this bullshit in this manner. I get it. I get that you're mad, but it's probably a reason why this lady didn't tell you. Probably for reasons like this. I get it. But you come into her rather hostile. Okay? So Jax bombards her way to her mom's appointment. And the doctor is explaining, hey, this stage 2 is pretty aggressive, where we want to do surgery. And Jax doesn't want her to do surgery. So Jax, again, is overstepping. Instead of just sitting back listening and then having a conversation with her mom, she's overstepping. This is your mom's life. This is what your mom wants. You're rooted, she's a little bit, to me, rooted in selfishness because you want your mom around. And you don't know the outcome. You're not a doctor. You're an attorney. That's just like a doctor coming to you telling you how to do your job. But I get it. She did want her mama to get a second opinion, but I wasn't mad at that. And so the doctor was like, we don't have time for a second opinion, but we have to have the surgery. So Jax was like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to get a second opinion. So Mama Lou was like, listen, she talked to the doctor. She said, before Jax, walked out the door, because she thought her mom was going to get up and walk. So her mama was like, listen, I'm going to go through with the surgery. We're going to schedule this surgery, and that's going to be that. I won't get a second opinion. She trusts her doctor. So Jax, of course, y'all know she pissed off. Y'all know she don't like it because it ain't in her favor, and it's not going her way. So Jax calls Lewis, or Lewis calls Jax, and she lets Lewis know, hey, I want different options for my mom. I don't want my mom to go through with the surgery. Girl, this is not your life. This is your mom's. Like, it could go either way. Whatever, I forgot what his name, but shout out to him. We be like, it can go either way. So not only is Jax dealing with the case, she's also now having to carry the bulk of this information about her mom's surgery on her shoulders. So we find out that she is also planning Autumn's baby shower, and she's actually also worried about the case. And Lewis tells her, listen, your mom is important right now. Like, all of this other stuff can go to the back seat. You can pass it to your other two friends. Pass the baby shower. They can have it at your house, but you need to pass it to your other two friends. But no, Jax wants to carry the world on her shoulders and wonder why she want to go run around looking for a damn cigarette that she don't smoke no more. Okay? So Jax gets to the office. She asks Bill to take on the case for today. She lets Bill know that her mom has cancer. Bill apologizes. He extend his kindness. He is still not to be trusted, though. And she talks to him about strategies. So she gives him questions for the case, and Bill suggests that they continue to Bill suggests that they file a motion for a continuance. Sorry. She tell him no because, I don't want to lose the momentum. Once again, Jax is making this about her, even in a case. The case is somehow about her getting her just due for what Paul done. She didn't say that, but I told y'all that that's what I was thinking anyway. So Bill encourages Jax because Jax takes this moment to actually cry. Like, just looking at Jax, it has to be exhausting. Hell, I don't have that much on my plate, but I still have shoulder pain. But being Jacqueline Stewart has to be the most exhausting place to be in person, to be in this world. And so Jax leaves out for the rest of the day because she's taking off for the rest of the day and for a couple days, because her mom surgery is scheduled soon. I think within those couple days. So she wants to see if her mom is okay. So the partner come in. I cannot stand him. I need Bill to really tell Jax what is going on and what they are doing behind her back. So the partner comes in and Bill immediately shares Jack's story to this guy. And I don't like it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can I tell y'all how annoying it is? Bill is absolutely not to be trusted. So he lets her know, I told Jax to file a motion for a continuance. And the partner wants them to move faster. So he doesn't want him to file a motion. He wants him to move faster so they can get this acquisition closed. They really want to get rid of Jax at this point. Because he didn't give a damn about this lady mom being sick and having cancer. But it felt like for me, when Bill told him and he kind of had no regard, Bill kind of looked at him. But at the same time, Bill, we can't trust you because you was just willing and ready to offer up this woman's information. You're willing to throw this woman on the bus for your own self-serving purpose so you can be partner. Just know, the same way they treat Jax, if you overstep, they're going to do the same thing to you. I'm just saying. So Daniel walks in the office and asks Crystal, where's Jax? Crystal lets him know Jax is going to be out for a few days because her mom has cancer. And so he was like, really, oh my God, that is bad. I hope everything is okay. And so he tells Crystal, hey, I'm leaving early for the day. And Crystal was like, listen, tell Kristen I said hello. Okay? And he was like, what are you talking about? She was like, I saw y'all hugging. I saw how y'all hugging, and now you coming in here with this black girl effect. Okay, that's what they call it when the white men get with the black women, and then they in the beginning they are white, face, hair, all of it. But then when they get the black girl effect, they're a little more cooler. They have a lot more swag. Okay? It be looking good. Anyway. He tells Crystal, oh no, we're not, it's not like that. I'm just using her for information. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, Crystal is crazy. I'm sorry, not Crystal. Kristen is crazy, and Kristen is not to be trusted. We seen that at the end of this episode. Okay, so Crystal lets Daniel know you need to confess this to Jax because you know how Jax feel about keeping secrets. And again, foreshadowing how Jax gonna respond. It feels like this was a foreshadowing for how Jax is gonna respond to Daniel in this Kristen situation and Bill in his situation with the partners. That's how I feel like it's a foreshadowing. So Daniel was like, okay, I think he said he was gonna let her know. I'm not for certain. I thought I heard him say that. So anyway, Jax head over to her mom's house, knock on the door. Her mom didn't answer, and she goes around the back looking for Mama Lou, and she sees Eddie sitting outside with his guitar. And so she was like, hey, I'm looking for my mom. He was like, she's gone. She went somewhere, but she'll be back. She was like, okay, well, I'll just sit here and wait so she can sign these documents so I can be her power of attorney. So we find out Eddie is the power of attorney. She said because she thinks that Jax will be too emotional to carry out any and all of Mama Lou's wishes. And Jax is pissed. So she finally tells Eddie, like, what is your angle? Like, why are you here? What is your reasoning for being here? Eddie said he called and he's helping Mama Lou. He said he called to check. I want to say he checked on Mama Lou. And then she told him she had cancer. No, he was in town. He came. He said, listen, all I did was came in town. I called your mom to let her know that I was in town. Your mom disclosed to me that she had cancer. So Eddie's been knowing for quite some time, but not that long. And so ever since then, he's been there to help take care of Lou and nothing else. So he said, I just want to give Lou whatever she wants. And I'm guessing that's him low-key trying to make up for not being a good husband, for not being a good father, for allowing the drugs to take over him. So he wants to make sure if this is the end for Mama Lou, I want to make sure I'm there in a way that I should have been there. So Jax said, she says that her mom doesn't know what she wants because she's sick. And I'm looking at Jax like, why would you say... Yo, I get her frustrations, but the fact that you're just like, your mama don't know what she wants just because she's sick, that is crazy to me. Y'all, Jax is so controlling. She is so controlling. She wants to control everything. Ugh. So Jax reminds Eddie, that she's been here while you were going out on your spree and on and off drugs. I've been taking care of Mama Lou. I've been taking care of my mother, making sure my mom is good, and she has. And that's why I'm not mad at Jax, because I'm standing in the gap. I've always been here, and for her to allow you to just come in just for this short amount of time after you played us, after you lied with the drugs and all of the things, and to be and for her to give you power of attorney over me is a slap in the face. So yes, I understand Jax's gripe, because that to me is sometimes I don't like how it feels as though Mama Lou puts men over Jax, but I also understand why she did it, because she knew Jax. She knows Jax. She knows Jax has to control everything, and everything has to go Jax's way. So anyway, we get another flashback, and y'all, Jax is at the playground with two of her friends, right? And y'all remember those candies with the sugar in it, and they have the stick, and it had the different flavors, right? So one of her friends had the candy. She had a mirror. Jax had a little toy mirror. She opened the candy, and one of her friends had a fake plastic credit card. My question is, how many times have you done this in front of Jax? Anyway, she takes the candy, the sugar candy, and she puts it on the mirror. She takes the credit card and breaks it apart as if she's breaking apart dope. She takes the straw and she sucks it. I'm sorry, y'all. That is not funny. That is some CPS type BS. Like, call CPS, okay? So Mama Lou immediately snatched Jax up because her and Eddie were at the park with Jax. And so she was like, what are you doing? Where did you learn this from? She said she saw Daddy taking a good medicine. Immediately, Mama Lou knew he was on that dope. And so Mama Lou confronts Eddie about his drug usage, and your drug usage around Jax. And she takes Jax at this moment and she leave. So again, he tries to use his charm in his way to so y'all, Jax and Lewis, they have the conversation with Spencer and Naima, and they tell them about Mama Lou and her colon cancer and that she's gonna have surgery, but everybody's gonna be there to let Mama Lou know we're in support of her. So they took it pretty hard. They took it hard, and how kids think something is gonna go wrong, but Jax reassures them that us being there, she's gonna be okay. So in the next scene, we see Sally and Bill. Of course, they are now sleeping together. Okay, so Sally did not know that anything about Mama Lou, what was going on with Jax and Mama Lou. The only reason she found out was because Bill he received a message, I want to say, from Jax about the case, and so he was like, she was like, even though Jax, you're still working even around this time of night, and we doing what we doing. And he disclosed the information to her as well. And so Sally at this moment is like really shocked about everything. So in the next scene, Jax asks her mom, hey, why won't you get a second opinion? Mama Lou ask her like, hey, is the second opinion is what's best for you, or is it what's best for me? And Jax was like, listen. And in this moment, Jax turned into a little girl. She turned into a little girl in this moment. She wants her mom to stay with her after the surgery is over, because we want to be able to take care of you, and Eddie can't take you out of the tub, and Eddie can't do this. She wants, again, this is that little bit of control, but this is her, the little girl in her, crying out for her mom. And she wants her mom to be okay, and she wants her mom to be around family and be loved and not be in that house maybe by herself. So her mom agrees, because at this point, Jax is crying. She's crying. She's calling her mom mommy and everything. So she just kind of went into this little girl mode. In the next scene, we see Jax hosting Autumn's baby shower. And so Sally goes up to Jax and asks her about Mama Lou. So Jax was like, well, how did you know about Mama Lou? She was like, Lewis told me. So Jax looked at her like, yeah, no. And so Sally admits to Jax that her and Bill are smashing, and he separated from his wife, and we grown, and he was the one. Did I say Bill? Okay, they are smashing, and she grown. Basically, we can do whatever we want, and Bill was the one who disclosed this information to me. And so, Jax is acting like, once again, she's fine, and she's not. And she goes to, I forgot what she was looking for, but she goes into her room to find a cigarette, because y'all know when she's stressed, she either smoke weed or she was smoking her cigarette. And Chanel walks in her room, and she breaks down and cries and tells Chanel everything. So Chanel had Jax to see from Mama Lou's standpoint. She was like, your mom probably didn't tell you because she didn't want you to worry. She wanted to handle it on her own. And so Jax felt like she should have said something. And so she was like, well, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Would you want to tell Naima and Spencer that you were sick, that, you had cancer? And Jax was like, yeah, because I would want them to know. So Chanel was like, just understand it from your mom's point of view and why. And so Chanel told her about the smoking of the cigarettes, like, girl, don't smoke that cigarette, basically. But she was able to get it all out, cry and let it out. All right. We get another flashback with the dad, with Eddie knocking on the door. And he's trying to come into the house because Mama Lou locked the doors, and because of what he has done. Mama Lou tells Jax to go in her room and go hide or whatever, because he's like being outside, being very combative, and we can tell that he's probably high. And so Jax goes into her room, And she was like, I'm not letting you in. I'm going to call the police if you don't leave. So he cursed Mama Lou out and all of the things. And it's like, you're wrong. You're the one who's wrong, but you're mad at her because she doesn't want to let you in her house around her daughter after what you have done around Jax. That is crazy to me. But in that moment, you do see Mama Lou actually protecting Jax. So the morning of Mama Lou's surgery, Bill, he stopped at the hospital to bring flowers to let her know, hey, everybody from the firm got her those flowers. And he just checks on her. Okay, so they roll Mama Lou into surgery. And we get another flashback with Jax opening the door. Jax is sitting down watching TV. Her mom went to the store. And her dad is at the door. And again, he's great. You can see how he can easily manipulate people. He was great at that. Even at that time, he was great at manipulating Jax because she's a kid and because she really genuinely loves her dad. Like an innocent, genuine love for her dad. And so she looked out the window. She noticed that was her dad. She opened the door for him. And he's going around. Like, I thought he was looking for money so he could go buy his dope, but he was actually looking for some dope he had stashed around in the house. And it looked like it was some old dope. Like, I don't know if dope can be old, but it looked very old to me. So he took his belt off because I was thinking like, oh Lord, what he finna do to Jax? But he didn't. He goes into the kitchen. He tells Jax, you sit here, I'm gonna go make you a snack. He goes into the kitchen, put the belt around his arm. He had a needle with him. He, warmed it, y'all know, cooked it up, warmed it, shot it in his arm. And Mama Lou comes home and was like, hey Jax, I have snacks in the bag for you. And she was like, oh no, Daddy's in the kitchen, he's gonna make some snacks for me. He's gonna make a snack for me. So Mama Lou goes in the kitchen to find Eddie on the floor because apparently he OD'd. And so she's crying, she called the police and whatnot. So in the next scene, we see Mama Lou packing to move. She wants to get out of the house, I guess, to get away from Eddie so he can't just show up. So apparently she's going to go stay with a family member. And Jax had really, again, little kids really have this genuine, innocent love for adults. And so Jax is asking Lou a lot of questions. Lou is crying, she's upset, and she yells at Jax, and then she hugs Jax, and she doesn't cry. She just stood there, and Mama Lou hugged her and let her know, it's gonna be okay. Daddy has went on again protecting Eddie, so she lied to Jax about what was really happening. But I get it, she lied and let him know that that he had somewhere to go. He all of the things, I don't know, but he had a piece of his guitar sitting on the counter. And so she was like, well, Dad said he was gonna bring me something back special. And so she gave him that. She rinsed off the guitar piece, gave it to Jax, and said, oh, this is what he left behind. And he didn't, but that's what she wanted. That's what she wanted Jax to think. And y'all know that same piece, Jax kept that in her box where she keep her cigarettes. She thought her dad really did leave it behind because that's what Mama Lou told her. And so Jax is in the chapel praying, and Eddie comes in. They have a conversation, and Louis shows up and let them know, the doctor needs to speak to them about Mama Lou. So we get like a montage with Jax and Mama Lou, and I was like, Lord. First of all, D'Angelo just died. We don't want to bury Mama Lou. Okay? But we find out that Mama Lou made it through surgery and she is recovering. And that makes me very happy. Okay? So, Eddie, Jax hugged her kids. I want to say she hugged Louis. She hugged Eddie. Now, I just want to point out, did y'all see how Louis was watching the way Jax and her daddy hugging? And he knew what Eddie is hiding. Again, it wasn't Lou's sickness. It is something else. It was something else. And we need to know what it was. Also, Daniel goes to the hospital to visit Jax. He comes out and he also has Kristen's location. He got her location the other night when he was sleeping in her bed, and he was able to somehow get his location where he can see where she's going. Kristen comes out of ICU and runs into Daniel, and we find out that Alex is in ICU. So she must have did something to him, because he coded, and she came out on the phone saying he won't be able to talk anymore. So I don't know if Alex is unalive, but that really made me believe that Kristen did something to Wendy. She that girl is crazy, okay? And I need Daniel to watch his back. This was the end of the episode. One thing I will say that I'm glad that I did not see was them rallying around Ozzy. Well, this entire episode was committed solely to Jax and her mom and her family dynamics. Like, I get all of the other things, but I was glad that we were able to see Jax and her family dynamics. And I don't know if next week is the last episode. I don't know how many episodes we have, but it's actually really, this is a really good season, y'all. But that's all I got tonight. Again, I will bring y'all Bell Collective, and I think tomorrow I will bring y'all Braxton Family Values. But for now, I did drop episodes 1 and 2 of the Carl Weber's The Family Business. So y'all go around and check that out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Okay?